This is Carrie. I just want to say hi. And we are just doing a quick little webinar on how to build an audience and how to figure out when you want to have a event live, the 5 mistakes that you do not want to do. So this is a quick tutorial and a guide on how to master your events. So it's 6 o'clock. We're just going to wait a little bit and see what is going on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. And I'd like to do my webinars in 30 minutes. If we do have any chatting, we will answer questions or we'll send a feed. I'll put in my email and answer your questions that way. Okay, so the 5 mistakes that you do not want to make when holding your first seminar, retreat, or workshop. And what a live event does is help you build your audience. So maybe you have an audience and you want to create a live event to get connections, which will make it a stronger tribe that is following you. Or you feel like nothing is panning out, so you want to start momentum in your business by creating events that you host and that definitely will get people, have you start to speak in front of people, and also have you engaging with people on a consistent basis. So when you speak in front of somebody, it's great because it builds your confidence, it builds your self-esteem to get you to your next level. So if you can't get, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're a health coach, and you can't find clients, you want to try to host your own smaller events so you can get in front of people, workshops, seminars, small retreats. And that way you can get people in front of people to speak, also get your message out there, and make connections that will last. I love live connections. They really, like, everything's online, you're sitting behind your desk a lot, and you lose a connection. So putting on a live event is amazing because what that does is it allows you to really make a connection with the person on a different level. So you can be like texting back and forth or emailing or chatting back and forth, but making a live connection with somebody is vital because they can really see your features, they can see your body language, they can, get an attraction to your response. And it's very, it gives a lot of value for showing that you spent the time to go and put on a event and to connect on a different level with people. So don't ever think that people don't want to see you live, because they do. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. And so the chapter starts here. You always want to have a story to tell. I like to go simple and brief, okay? But I want to be in charge of my story. I do not want to be the passenger. So let's take a stroll into the gallery. So I picked this presentation of a gallery because your life is a blank canvas when you come into this world. And we forget that we had all these gifts and we were here to do a certain thing, and someone may have stopped us by telling us no, giving us bad advice, we listening to the wrong friends, our parents, were just overbearing and didn't let us, live out our complete dream, and we forgot what it was. So you always have a next chapter. It's whenever you're ready to step into that chapter. So you like to start off the clean slate. That means completely get rid of your old story if it's not attached to you anymore and you feel like you want something better, and then come into a new, fresh start. Okay, so are you the creator of your story or the passenger? So the passenger is a person obviously taking a ride, right? You're just taking a ride, and hopefully whatever happens is good. But if bad things come, then you have to deal with them. But you're just sitting there waiting for anything to show up, or you are sitting there, living behind the shadow of somebody else, or you're just sitting there thinking that one day I'm going to do this. And, we're never really guaranteed that next day. So you want to live every day in your fullest and give your best. So when you are the creator of your story, you are not reacting, you are creating your next chapter. You are lining up your next chapter, just like you would do your business. So you want to make sure that your life is on a clear path on what you want, and you're making the goals to get there every day. And it's very, very important. So I did MMA events for 5 years, over 60 events, and that's a lot. We were in contact with a lot of different people. We had to deal with a lot of situations. And when you're in the situation, you deal with it, right? And you're growing the whole time, and the momentum's building, and the confidence is building. And it was amazing, amazing experience. And I felt like I wanted to do more. We had a little conflicts with, issues with the state, and different things that just didn't feel right. And sometimes your body is holding you back. Maybe you're afraid to be successful. Maybe you just had enough and you feel like you want something new. But sometimes it's things that you can't control, which in this case, we couldn't control because, you have people that in this industry that had a lot of influence, but not in a good way. So if they felt like you were taking over too fast, they kind of want to shut you down a little bit. So that's a little bit about my story. And then I kind of had a panic attack just from all the stress. And I figured out I really don't want to live like this anymore. So I wanted to create a story that I was happy with. And I always loved helping people. So I became a yoga instructor, a health coach, and I'm starting my health and wellness small one-day retreats, also a mini seminars, just to keep women engaged. Okay, so let's get on with this webinar. So first mistake to avoid. Whenever you are doing a event and you have someone else working for you, like an event planner or whatever it is, make sure they know your numbers and make sure they're clear. Because sometimes when you have somebody work for you, which, I have situations that had happened with me, that you tell them something, but they kind of don't really listen, or they're not doing the job that they were paid for because they felt like they're paid, so whatever happens, happens. And you want to make sure you interview at least 3 people. We'll talk about that later. But our first mistake to avoid, know your numbers first before you start anything. You want to build your event around the numbers. So you pick your numbers, you budget per person, you budget per location, and your marketing. Everything is under those numbers. So numbers first, then you build your package around your numbers. So if I want to make a $10,000 profit off of a live event, this is, a smaller event, you would budget at $15,000. Okay, you need to sell 75 tickets at $200 or 100 tickets at $150. So in that case, that will get us right at our budget of 15, and we really wouldn't have any leeway. So that would be the 5,000. So when you get down closer to the event, you couldn't really do a lot of sales. So you really want to make sure that you come a little bit higher maybe, or get some different packages in there. Like you would say, we're going to do a VIP package. This is going to be an extra $300. and you're going to get this, this, and this. You get to meet one-on-one with the speakers, a little bit of coaching. So you do want to add a different level of package there. And I'm giving you a basic format that you want to follow, but I want you to be creative and understand that you want to try to get above your budget of 15 in case you don't sell all the tickets. So you will have your money profit that you want to make. And then you figure out your time frame and then the location. But first, how many tickets do I have to sell? Okay. What are the actual numbers? What kind of extra packages can I put in there? And how can I get to other things that will build in revenue? Okay. So you're walking through your gallery of your life, right? If you can walk through and create any chapter, any art that you want and make it your story, that turns up the enthusiasm and the excitement in your life. So the second mistake is SOS, staff or sponsors. Make sure you at least have one sponsor if it's a bank or something local that you can get in there, and make sure you have enough staff. All right, staff is very, very important. So let's go into staff. Staff before and during gives you the feedback and key results to make tribe come back for more. Key results to make your tribe come back for more. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you're making your tribe come back for more on all levels, right? So you really want to have people there because you can't be everywhere. So a tip for this is you can't be everywhere and give value when needed. So if you're really, connecting with one person and then there's like 20 other people want to talk to you, this is when your staff can step in and really, answer questions while they're sitting there, taking ticket information, make sure they know exactly what you need at the day of the event and what you need to make sure that the clients or your customers need to enjoy this experience. So sponsors, the key things that they do for you, they spread the word for you. Okay, it's like almost like someone paying you to market. Okay, they pay you and then they market you because they want their business to grow too. So it's a win-win. Plus, they have a huge following. So if you really can attach yourself to a really good or partner with a really good sponsor, they're going to have a great following, and that could be extra ticket sales. And this also holds trust when pitching to other sponsors for your next events or for that event that you have coming up. So a nice little tip is even work on support from the location of the event. So what's that meaning is if you're having it at a hotel, you tap into the person that deals with the events there and let them know, like, how can you help me really doing this? This is my first event and I really feel like I need a little bit of help. Is there some kind of tips you can have, or maybe help put my flyers out at the at your cafe or at your little stop and shop, inside the hotel. So those are really key things. Okay, always make sure that you're asking for help in every direction as you go forward. Third mistake is time frame. Survey the event in your area. So time frame is very, very important. So make sure there's no really big, huge events going on when you pick your day, because that can crush your event, right? And you want to try to attend as many events in your local area as you can and budget that in, because that way you can make connections and tell them what's coming up in your life and how you are going to help them maybe do something that they've been looking for. So it's very key to make connections, about 6 weeks out or more. I would say 6 to 10 weeks out in your local area so you can get people involved and engaged. Taking notes on what time frame is working. So maybe you've gone to about 3 or 4 events in the area, and maybe they're mostly on a Friday night. Maybe some are like early in the lunch on a Thursday or a Friday when people want to get out of work that day. So they're saying, hey, I'm signing up for this awesome seminar, to help me improve this. So maybe a lunch is really good. So you need to go and do some research and figure out what can really work for a great time frame here for you and your event. It's all about really connecting in the location that you're going to have it. So, you have to keep in mind what location that is and make sure it's in your budget that you picked. So the tip here is the day matters, okay? It really, really matters. Make sure there's no sporting events or conferences are going on when you pick that date in your area. So I'm close to Jersey, and Philadelphia Eagles are right there. So it'd be horrible for me to book a date maybe 8 weeks out, or, football season, and it's just, not going to happen. Even though a lot of women say they don't like football, they end up making food and, having friends over. So, if your event's geared to women, that may be an issue for you. If you're having more of a seminar, you would definitely be more, it could be happy hour, it can be more set up for you doing seminars, mostly different time frames. So you want to make sure that they could be done at lunch from a 1 to 12 because everyone has to have lunch. So those are great ways to really pull those in. Now for a retreat, that would be more of a day event. So that's more of a weekend thing. So really be key if you want to do a half day, or you're doing a 3-day intensive, or you just want to do a 2-day event, right? Saturday and Sunday. So starting with your first event, just make sure you figure out which one of those 3 are really going to work for you. And if you're just doing workshops, I would say a great time for workshops are either early in the morning for breakfast or lunch, because then you can give them a light snack, and people like to get out on those types of time frames, right? Like 9 o'clock or definitely at 12, which is a lunch. Sometimes the lunches are 11:30 to 2, so that's a good time frame for that. And then let's step into the 4th mistake that I have seen a lot of people do. You're not really capturing your online social media marketing, which a lot could be free, right? And obviously, Facebook should definitely be up there. So there's one thing that I totally didn't engage in on my little slide for you. But as you know, Facebook is totally free, but there's so many other platforms, but you want to know which one you have followers. So if you already have followers and they are really, really connecting with you, this is what's really good, is to put on a live event, and they may fly out to see you, or maybe you're just traveling in a certain area just for personal reasons or business, and say, hey, I'm going to be in this town. I'm going to be here on this date. I want to put together a quick little workshop, at this restaurant. So, that could be key for you. But pick your platform. I would only pick 2 for your social media if you've never done any of them. And the one that's really great now is Periscope, that hooks directly into Twitter. So you get a direct feed and you can blast out and monetize that hugely, right? I'll probably be doing a big Periscope webinar and also a Periscope course just to get people engaged on what they need to do. But there's so many. There's webinars, Google Hangout, obviously YouTube, but networking is important, and seminars in your area around the day of the event is key to keep people's motivation and keep their energy level in. We can do 10 seminars, online summits before your event so people can connect with you on a different level. And always key is to try to get an email marketing set up, because what that's going to do is capture the emails instead of writing them down by hand at the event. Have your actual email capture in your computer open at the event, and the person that's coming in, if you have new people that showed up, they can just fill in the information. Or if you get business cards at networking events before your event, you say, hey, I'm going to sign you up for my newsletter. I just want to let you know. And you just plug them in when you get home. So instead of having all those cards, you have a consistent base of, subscribers to your email list by meeting people in person. And, you can always put a landing page with a link into any one of your social medias to do online flyers for your event and also get a connection. So when you're doing something on social media for an event, you want to make sure it's consistent. So if you pick a platform, say you pick Periscope, you want to make sure that you're not just telling them to come and see me, give them value too. So maybe at 9 o'clock, it's a morning motivation. And then at nighttime, you tell them how to journal or how to set up their day to win the next day. And then you do that for about 12 days. And then you can slowly start to feed in your event. If you love this, come see me live. I'm going to be showing you all the inside tips of your business. So those are key little points on how you can really monetize social media on these free platforms and get free advertisement out there for your event. So I'll be doing more of these where we go into detail on just certain ideas and certain social media markets, and we grow from there. We're always growing, so I want you to be on this journey if you need to be, and get all these very high-end tips to follow when you want to host your first event, whether it be a seminar, a webinar, a workshop, or a retreat. Fifth mistake, take action. So, a lot of people like to say, hey, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that. Oh, yeah, that's great. And everyone will say, well, when are you doing it? And you haven't made a date. So the key here is not to talk, but to act, because action really keeps your body and engage and lets that fear leave your thoughts. So if you do not take action, you will kiss your dreams goodbye. So this is the biggest mistake a lot of people make. They don't go out there and just do it, right? This is why I'm giving you these tips, so it will help you in your steps. And when you signed up for the webinar, you did get a free download, and what that does is it really helps you look at that master map and figure out, okay, I need to do this next. Okay, I need to do this. And it has a little bit more in depth. It has a little bit more information on, key points and tips that you can use when hosting a event. And you always have to remember that you want to start. When an idea comes into your awareness, it's coming in there because you are ready. If you flush out that idea and really put yourself down and don't think you can do it, what happens is that idea floats to someone else, and then they take action and they become what you always wanted, because you let go of that thought and didn't put enough effort behind it. So what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose, right? Because there's always someone there to help you get through this. And that's what you want to do, is build a great team around you, okay? So it's very, very important to take action and get out there and take steps so that you're not kissing your dreams goodbye every night. So your art gallery of life. So your next chapter is completely blank. This is where I want you to create a 12-month strategic gallery for filling seats and building relationships and, building your brand and your audience. So you can pick for the next, let's do 12 months, and figure out what dates would work if you wanted to do a seminar every 6 weeks, if you wanted to do it every 2 months. You need to figure it out and write it down. And then that's very key for you to easily be able to get engagement and get people into the doors and build an audience that will be with you for longer than you would ever imagine if you just get out there and take action. So here's my private gallery, my MMA events, some of the people I've met. I was in a commercial for Jefferson for yoga. I held a yoga retreat for women, and it was amazing to be able to do these type of things and be creative and know that I'm pushing myself outside that box. I'm pushing myself outside of that actual comfort zone. And, if I wouldn't have just took some of the steps that I've taken, I wouldn't be able to do this. So it's great to have a really supportive family that loves you and that is always there to help you. But also, friends are very important. And, believing in yourself is what's really key, right? Because no matter what, people can tell you how much they support you, but you have to believe in yourself. And that's what we're really trying to get out, is believing in yourself to build the life and build the gallery that you want. So monetizing your story or gift into the world. Say you want to put on a retreat and it wants to be, overseas or, in a different country. There's so many key things. And, that is amazing. You really just take the steps, learn under the person that's done that before. Get out there, make these connections, ask questions. When you're actually doing that, you can go to a retreat in a different place and talk to the person that's hosting it and, get ideas. So there's always a way to use your common sense and make it common knowledge, right? Because we all have common sense, we just don't always use it. So you want to be monetizing your story, monetizing your gallery as much as you can, and get the gift that you were born with into the world. So I am giving you some of my information. Follow me, share me, send me love. You're sending love on Periscope. It's super, super duper cute. It's tons of little tiny hearts. And that is KLLM_Morgan, Twitter, and it's the same as Periscope, but you can find me there. Down Dog Wellness is my Facebook page, and I want you to live, laugh, and love on purpose, right? Lop it out. And launching soon would be monetizing your 24-hour energy blueprint. And this program will be to help you realize your potential and the opportunity that you have every day, like everyone else, because we all have the same 24 hours, but maybe you're choosing to be a passenger instead of choosing to be your creator. Right? You want to stop reacting to everyone's email and start creating the emails that people react to. So it's just a little bit of different in a little mindset shift, right? Into you living your dreams and being the person that you were born to be. We are all unique in everything we do. And you have to remember that uniqueness is just for you. No twins are exactly the same. They're not born the same. They each have their unique cells and DNA, and it's amazing to realize that you are special and just figure out what your gift is. So remember, you did get that little basic mind map, and I want you to print it out. I want you to go through all the things and, maybe post it so that you can see what you need to do. Because sometimes you need to see your goals or you forget about them. So remind yourself on making profits with live events. Bring your tribe together for a lasting connection, and this will mean more than you ever could imagine. So don't sell yourself short in not having a real live human connection with people that have been in your following you for maybe a year or maybe 2 years or maybe 5 years. And you can grow something on a whole different level just by having interactions with people. So I want to say thank you so much for you taking the time out to be a part of my little webinar. So here's my information again. I would love to find some connections and really help inspire people to take the next step into something that, is relationship building and networking is bigger than ever, just because we have so many more entrepreneurs and people that get stuck behind the desk. They want to be around like-minded people. And the best way to do that, instead of going through all these people online and figuring out going to an event that you already know you like that circle, right? You already know you like the people in that circle. So meeting them in person scales up that level to 100%. Correct? Correct. Boom. Right? Thank you so much again and have a wonderful night.